Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Lucid. I'm here with Maryland.
Howdy, folks.
And we are on turn 12-ish.
12. And we should see not incarnate blesses come out if there's any left.
Oh, yeah. That'll be really exciting. Do you know off the top of your head who might be a candidate for that? I mean, we could also see Dormant Titans coming out.
I was thinking Agartha might have a piece of, and Pan might have not incarnate pieces. So those are the two I was keeping in mind.
Okay, that'll be exciting.
I don't think Mictlan left enough on the table to have anything really useful. Ind, we know, went in prison, so if he took incarnate of any kind, it's not going to play into the game until really late.
Right. Okay.
So those are the only two I was thinking of.
God, I'm kind of interested. Do we have any Agartha battles? I kind of just want to snipe and see if we...
Go ahead.
There's Shard. This might be his prophet. I'm not sure. Nope. We're not going to get to see a bless.
Okay.
Oh, we'll have to wait. Okay, so a message from Ulm. Agreed on a nap 3 with the Agartha. Lucky Citadel, but still need an air and an earth random. The earth random you need for hammers. The air random you need for quills.
He'll be pumping out hordes of his cheap basic magi. I forgot their name.
Mastersmiths. Okay, so he's making mastersmiths. He's not... Yeah. I had somebody complain to me they weren't getting air randoms before. And they were making a large percentage of their stuff as priestsmiths, which are cap only. So like when you're Ulm, you want to get these guys out of your cap so that you can do Iron Blizzard.
Oh, I forgot that these are only 20% random. So he's going to need a lot of master smiths till he gets those critical randoms.
Yeah. You have to really, I mean, you're going to get them. Like this is not a low enough percent chance that...
Is MA still a candidate for fort spam?
Not really. I mean, you could, but
that's memories of older versions of the game.
Yeah, I don't think you would with these guys. I mean, because you're going to be gold limited in how many smiths you can get out, and you're probably going to want to make some troops because you have the best troops. And if you're spamming forts, you're not making troops.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So
it's going to take him a little while. He will get the ones he needs.
Yeah. When I played, I was super lucky. I got an air random on like my first or second one. But normally it'll take you, like if you look at it, what are the odds? It's 1 in 5 of getting a random at all, and then it's 1 in 4. So it's 1 in 20.
Yeah, that's going to take a while.
Yeah. Now you make 1.5 a turn. So oftentimes you'll get one by turn 12.
Did you spam quills?
Yeah, I did. But you actually kind of need 2 air randoms because you don't have any native air income. So you usually have to send your first smith out. And then you really want that hammer too, which is why he wants that earth random. Because that hammer means every single air gem site you find potentially can be a quill a turn.
Well, he doesn't need randoms to make hammers. He just has to burn his first 10 earth gems, make himself some boots, and off he goes.
Yeah, but that means he has to get to construction 4 first, because boots are 4. But if you get lucky, like best case when you're playing Ulm, you get an earth and an air random, and then at construction 2, you can make a hammer, because hammers are only construction 2, but boots are construction 4.
That's right. You're right.
Yeah. But you're right. Once he gets to construction 4, the earth random doesn't matter that much.
He's at 3 forts already. He could arguably do a 4th fort.
Yeah. Okay, and he just butchers these lizards, which this is one of the things we were talking, not last episode, but a few episodes ago, about how important this lizard province is to Ulm. Now he has one of his flanks crushed here. A little unfortunate.
I'm going to highlight the comment I made before, though. I think he would have done well to mix up his turn buys a bit. Because this is the case where I don't think the flails were the right solution.
Well, I think a bigger issue is the formation, and then if we look, I can't tell. I think, yeah, the lizards are hitting on this side of the thing. I wasn't sure if Ulm shifted his troops up or if the lizards were down. The lizards are down, and Ulm's in the middle.
But the lizards are punching right through his protection, so it's not doing him much.
Well, they do, but you can see where I actually think the flail guys are good here. Well,
I'm not saying the flail guys are bad. I'm just suggesting that mixing this up a little bit, maybe a little more repel, so for some longer weapons. Well, flails are length 2 for the 2-handeds, so he's losing on any chance of repel here.
yeah, I think the bigger issue was formation, which would be hard to anticipate, but just having maybe a longer line with a sparse line behind it. Oh no, and they're going to run. Fortunately, his guys are slow, but I don't know if they're slow enough. Oh, they are. Okay. So if these guys had made it off the field, they would retreat and some of them would die.
Yeah. I'm just saying that, like I said, I would have to sit there and do a little testing. But I think Ulm is in one of these situations where you've got a bunch of quality troops. And you could do some really interesting mixed formations, mixed squads. Some nations, you just don't have enough selection of things worth buying.
Yeah, I mean, I think the question from... I've played Middle Age once, in Middle Age Ulm in a multiplayer game once. You have questions over how, like, when do you want the fully heavy dudes and when do you want the resource less heavy dudes?
See, one of my favorites for all of the ages of Ulm, or at least middle and late, are the one-handed tower shields with one-handed flail guys.
These guys?
A line of 10 of those to soak the first hits is really quite effective. They've got good attack, still quite good damage, and they're just stinking hard to kill.
But I don't know that the tower shield is good against arrows, but I don't think it's that useful in melee because their base defense gets rocked by it, right? So it's not going to hit that often. But it's going to be very good against crossbows and stuff.
Well,
but like these guys,
I was just thinking that in this case against, I don't know. Like I said, you'd have to test, because otherwise I'm just doing theory crap. But
yeah.
You also brought up the very excellent unit, the sapper, and he's not using any sappers.
Right. Yeah, the sappers are nice. The crossbowmen are good too. These Ulmish crossbows get special mention because they have arbalists, which fire slower than a normal crossbow, but it's basically like they fire javelins. They're that strong.
Range of 50.
Yeah. This is in some ways the best crossbow in the game in terms of like dealing with elite units. Very strong. And if you get their strength up a bit with Strength of Giants, I think this becomes 17 damage.
It should say strength applies half.
Or it's a third, but...
well, that's still useful.
But I think the threshold, because you get up to 12, I think you get the next one, then the 3 more strength you get from Giants puts you up to the next one. I think you get 17. Yeah. I could be wrong. It could only be 16. But
to round up.
The problem with these, though, is they hit so goddamn hard that you'll actually get through the armor of your own dudes. So in some ways, you don't... Like, the things that these crossbows are really good against are, like, your own stuff.
Yeah, so friendly fire. And...
Right. But if you can get Aerofend or something up, these guys get pretty good. But the thing is, like, Ulm gets to a point. So one thing is getting, like, these guys are awesome for expansion because they're less resources, these two-handed flails, and they're only 27. But when you kick it up to 38...
Ooh, yeah.
It's expensive, but the 23 protection compared to 19 is a night and day difference. And then when you get Legions of Steel on these guys, and this jumps up to 25, that's when all of a sudden they're just monsters. And then there's they swing this flail twice. When you get it with Strength of Giants, and this becomes 20 damage attacks, versus a lot of player units, that extra 4 damage is going to make a huge difference.
Yeah.
So Ulm just gets this massive... It's as they transition, because you need a lot of forts, but once you get a lot of forts where you're more gold constrained than resource constrained, you start picking out the fully black units, and you start giving them a tiny bit of mage support. But yeah.
I'm just thinking, if you lucked out, got some independent nature magi, you could probably even boost up the protection with just spamming protection.
Oh yeah.
Like bark skin.
Yeah, you probably could.
That'd get you 3 or 4 more.
Yeah.
because they have no natural on their own. So
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Okay, that's and let's see what type is he getting. He is getting the fully, so he's switching to the resource constrained ones. He's getting the fully black armored ones.
right.
And he's making the Guardians, which we haven't seen yet.
No, so he might be thinking now is the time to get prepped in case of a sacred rush by, say, Agartha.
Yeah.
Or tigers.
Or Pangaea. These guys would be excellent against Pangaea.
Yeah, you were talking about hard counters to white centers. I think the Ghoul Guardians would be.
Yeah. Like getting. I mean.
And that Bane of the Heretic on their.
Oh, yeah.
It's called, I think. It also has a stun effect, doesn't it? On the Ghoul Guardians?
Yeah. Yeah, or fatigue effect. Yeah.
One or the other.
Yeah. It's a fatigue. But it. Yeah, I mean, I'm imagining like 30 of those backed up with the line of the infantry, and I'm not sure which ones would be exactly best versus White Centaur. I think it's still the flail because they're not super high protection, but maybe not.
Yeah.
But a line of those are Strength of Giants and Legions of Steel. I think as soon as you get that, you take Pangaea out with a wall of sappers behind. It is
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because, God, you do not want to fight Pangaea once they have Swarm Assassins and Foul Vapors and they're going to be raiding you with stealthy shit. It's going to be really annoying.
Well,
Just take a big army and go take their cap. It's the last White Centaur it's ever going to get made.
so we've still got this turn seems to be. Oh, okay. I saw some bits we'll get to.
Okay, I guess we'll come south. We'll look at Satis.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, getting some indies. And Pelagia, I don't think there's anything else to cover. Oh, he took this too. Oh, no, he got attacked by wolves. Okay, Pelagia has made landfall.
And he went for the forest. Well, that's a pretty small. He probably decided that just wasn't big enough to take out the stuff in that farm.
Yeah.
Those are the quite heavily armored guys. Golden, the amber tridents.
Oh, these Wave Warrior guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got okay protection.
They're decent.
What are their attack and defense? Their defense doesn't appear to be great. But they hit hard, and that matters.
Other tridents, yeah.
But they do not take... Is this crossbow fire? No, it's just normal bow fire.
Yeah, they're not taking that too well.
Berserking Barb.
Yeah. Well, one of the Wave Warriors went roaring off to the edge. What's their combat speed? They're moving.
Not 10.
A 10, okay. You just
But they're a lot fast. I've got it on fast forward. They're a
Yeah,
lot faster than
well,
these guys.
right. Well, look at that. Look at how he's got rusty. That is so lame. Why would you? I had this problem with Erythia too. Is getting my
Oh,
dudes
yeah.
rusted. That is so annoying that an underwater nation or an amphibious nation would have iron equipment.
Yeah.
I just think that's an oversight.
Yeah, it could be. I won't disagree with you there.
Well, I remember in my Erythia game that just being very frustrated, constantly having some of my guys with rusty equipment and then having to find a lab and get them repaired or suicide them.
Yeah. Okay, so Pangaea has gone for a throne.
Right hitters. Well, look at that. So that's what he did with them.
This is a lot of White Centaur. A little bit of a miss scripting here because these guys are supposed to be flanking.
I think that might be intentional. You just have a little squad of two.
I think his buddies got stuck behind the line. Because I think he had a box and these two were sticking out the front past the line. We were looking at this one. We were saying this one would be kind of tough because it's got the heavy cav and then it's got a bunch of conjurers.
Yeah, but notice, I expected to see some imps and some skeletons. I'm not seeing any of them. I thought the conjurers, we do both.
Well, the skeletons are getting made, but they're all coming back here to deal with these flankers. Because skeletons, when you make them, they're always on attack closest, which will always put them on the farthest unit on this side.
Right.
Let's see what these guys are looking like when they're all buffed up. They got cursed.
This was one of the ones we wondered if he had something incarnate on his bless.
I don't see anything.
No, his bless was full.
Yeah.
I'm looking at that bless. That bless was full. So I was wrong there when I just cast his.
Yeah. God, these guys are so angry. Let me see. Did I get one that was Berserk already too? Berserk and Blood Surge? This one.
There you go.
Oh, man.
Attack 18.
Those are scary stats.
Yeah, they're pretty brutal.
Well, he lost the 2 that came in and flanked, but I doubt he lost more than 1 or 2 after that. Yeah, so he lost 4 White Centaur total.
That's pretty trivial.
Yeah. Now, what's interesting is I'm pretty sure he was stealth moving armies to get here, because we did not see them last turn.
Nope, we didn't. The last 2 turns we hadn't seen them. What throne did he get?
Threat of magic resist first stage.
It's magic. What's his base magic level?
Okay, well, and it gives him magic resistance. It's 3 now. I don't know if it was 3 to start with. But
Well, he hasn't claimed it yet.
oh, right. So yeah, it is 3. So that's wasted.
Yeah, that didn't help him a great deal.
And his neighbors are not really astral nations. Like Uruk will be if he eats Naba, but for right now the MR part's a little wasted. And Mictlan can be a little bit
Well, that's
astral.
but he had no way to know that.
Oh yeah, I mean you still want it.
Yeah.
What are his other thrones he could get? The Throne of Death. He's probably not excited about that as Pangaea.
Oh, that's an annoying throne.
The Silver Throne, he's not very excited about. And the Golden Throne. I mean, he would like both these for the path access, so he'll be happy to get those.
Absolutely. Yeah. Both of those are good.
But you really would love, like, stat boosting things for the White Centaur, too. Okay.
He's in a powerful position.
Yeah, he really is. Oh, but I was going to say, so the army stealth move to get here, I think he was hoping that he bumped.
Oh.
You know? Nobody would have scouting reports that would be like, hey, Pangaea's about to attack it. It's just all of a sudden, boom, the army shows up.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. More White Centaur here. He's got a scuba squad here, which he's pulled out. I'm not sure where they're headed. Yeah, anything else you want to say about Pangaea?
No, there's nothing much happening here. We covered, did he have any not incarnate? No.
Right, okay.
Or incarnate, sorry.
Okay, so coming over here to Naba, they go over this way, and they take this, and this looked like something Ashdod wanted to get their hands on.
It does, but too late now.
And this really leaves Ashdod in a pinned up position. He has got to attack somebody. He is only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, that's not horrible, but some of it's farmland, but...
But, like we said, he lost, what was it, the 9 Anakites
Right.
in one fight, so that put him behind.
And he's had a little bit more attrition aside from that, too. Like, that wasn't the only attrition he's had.
Yeah, and that's 3 turns we were thinking probably of capital recruitment of Anakites.
Okay, so he's...
Anakites there, and the other one like 5 or something. No, only 2. So he's really only got 15 or so Anakites in the whole game.
Right. Yeah, so, and, you know, Pangaea was telling us he was going to attack Naba, but I don't see them stacking up over here to jump Naba exactly. And these Anakites I do not think would be able to take this army.
There's only 2 of them in that army, according to the report.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
No.
there's the Seshai and the Ahaman.
So there's probably
10.
8. Yeah.
But, you know, I think they get hit by javelins, and then they're getting tiny chip damage from archers, and then they finally close in. I think this guy, like this army plus a little bit of PD would...
He's He's one we might want to have a quick look and see if any incarnate blesses showed up.
Oh, on Ashdod.
Maybe.
Nope.
Nope. So that's it. So his bless is what it is.
Well, we can get a hint by looking in people's capitals on these next few turns to see if a dormant god comes online.
Right.
Let me see a Malika here.
Okay. But
that's not a god.
No. What about Ashdod?
Okay, now we get to the exciting part. We have the war between Pythium and Xibalba. Oh, scouts.
That's it. Just scouts.
Just scouts.
Okay.
But Pythium attacks here. Says, we want our cave back, mister.
So he went up. Oh, but there's very few of the...
Yeah, he pulled the Bakemono, and he's got a mind burn thing going here.
Quite a lot of wizards.
Oh, man. The problem with this, though... Okay, this is an interesting situation. Oh, no!
Oh, the knights.
Oh, no. The dick punch. There's nothing else to describe this. I wonder if you got warned, because sometimes you get warned before the dick punch comes.
Yeah, you do. Sometimes.
Unexpectedly attacked.
No.
No warning.
Oh, that hurts.
At least he has a fort up so that he's still able to trace income. But, oh my god.
Yikes. That hurt.
I think this event has a turn limit on it, too. And we must just be at it. I think it's like turn limit 10 or something.
Yeah.
Which means it can't happen too early in the game because it would be too brutal. It, of course, happens immediately after. Now, to be fair, he did take Misfortune 3. So no complaining. This is what you get.
Minimum turn for this one is turn 8.
Okay.
And it only happens if you have Misfortune 2.
Yeah.
Yuck. This is why I hate Misfortune 3.
I mean, it's basically a free scale. Except sometimes stuff like this happens to you.
Yeah, exactly. Just.
Oh, man. The problem... Okay, like, here's the thing, because this is what makes it so interesting, is he was set up to combine both these forces here, and then that puts Xibalba in a really tough position. Do I PD dump this, right? Which he already has. He's got a huge commitment here, which, by the way, Pythium has scouted. He's seen the PD dump. And so he gets to say, okay, do I force a fight here?
That's 30 PD. Oh.
Yeah. Which, having it scouted is a big deal, too, because now...
That's getting into the too expensive for me.
Well, I'll do PD dumps that big. But the thing, it sucks when you... It's great when you do this and you surprise somebody. It's bad when you do that and they know it's there, because then they're only going to send something there when they can take it.
Right.
And then the second you leave it, they're going to go kill the PD.
Yikes.
Oh, the other thing that sucks is there's an ink pot in. So this whole thing's super diseased up now.
Oh, no.
But, okay, the complicating thing here is he has to get his cap back. So he can't consolidate both these armies here anymore.
Nope. He pretty much is going to have to retreat.
Right. And you don't want to keep this army here, so you probably have to move it here.
He has one small advantage.
And
though.
you have to move this army back.
It's quite likely that Xibalba doesn't know his cap is under siege. He might, depending on how many scouts he bought.
Boy.
Boy, this is, I think, I'm starting to think that Xibalba made an error, strategic error here. Although, I'm open to, we'll see how it plays. I think he had the initiative. I think he should have pressed earlier instead of falling back and playing defensive.
Yeah.
The play is not really working for him now.
Yeah. He doesn't have, it doesn't look like, the military strength to kill this army.
No, but if he'd had a lot more Bakemono sitting in that cave, I think the attrition would have been Because the problem is the handful he had were mine burned, but if he had 30 or 40, and they're very cheap.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
That could work. Oh, okay. So, but I think the moves here are pretty predictable. I think Pythium moves this army here. You can't sit here. He could YOLO and attack with both armies here, but that would be pretty high attrition. I'm pretty sure Pythium would win, but where's the god?
But then he's leaving his capital undefended.
Right.
Or, sorry, not undefended, but leaving it so he can't recruit.
Right.
He lost a pile of income. The sooner he clears those knights on his capital, the better.
And the problem attacking is he has to be ready to kill this god. And he doesn't know where this god is, most likely. So he doesn't know if it's gone to a lab, it's gotten more gear, what research it has. Attacking into a Titan behind PD is kind of... It's scary.
It's unpleasant.
So I think the move from Pythium is you have to move here and you have to come back here and defend your cap, which lets Xibalba just chill out a bit more.
Wow.
And meanwhile, we can see the Valkyries from Van have descended south.
And
Which...
the Vans are sitting there, but he's building a fort there.
Right.
So does he really want to play an offensive play till that fort's done? I'd say no.
Does he send us a message? No.
No, we did the messages earlier.
Oh, we didn't finish the messages, did we? We got sidetracked.
Oh, heaven forbid. How dare we?
How dare we? Okay, well, we'll do 3 Hail Marys each, and I forget the other things we get prescribed.
I don't know. I've never been a Catholic.
Yeah. Okay, so expansion has been poor to mediocre. It went way better in testing, but I'm still okayish for territory and capable of fighting an early war. Well, once I start pumping eagles out from multiple forts. That is a big once.
Yeah, but what multiple forts?
Yeah. On the Diplo front, I have naps with Pan, Ashdod, Bandar Log, whereas Jotunheim has said it's too early for naps, which means I'm currently expecting my first war to be against him.
Which we see that he just attacked. I saw that already.
Oh, did
That was
he?
one of the things I noticed, yeah. Well, not directly, but effectively.
Well, he took this one.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, he's got... Okay, guys, if you're new to the game and you see this on your border,
Yeah.
it means batten down the hatches. You've got bad shit coming.
Yep.
And the problem is there's so many provinces that are threatened. He can attack this province, he can attack this province, he can attack this province, and he can attack this one. And the only tool Mictlan is going to really have to fight against him is PD dumps.
Was there a single fight there in that 229 you're in right now?
No.
It's just it's just one fight. That's just Mictlan killing off the... Oh, there was no commanders left, so he just chased him away.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened,
That's
actually.
That was that berserking barbarian
Oh, yeah.
that did finally die, but too late to save him.
Yeah, you're right. But the core problem for Mictlan now is the only way he can defend these different provinces is with PD. And I don't think these are particularly great PD types. I mean, they may be, but he's not big enough. He doesn't have money to do big PD dumps everywhere. And big PD dumps they're very nice when you know one predictable move, like one choke point they're going to go through. But in a situation where they can check all 4, and then once they get to like this one, they're now going to open up another place to attack, and then another place. I mean, he's so checkmate.
This is an ugly situation.
Yeah. Okay, but there's a silver lining. He has a fort up. We were saying what forts he has a fort.
So one got up. Has he got any more underway? Looks like no.
A fort's under construction here. Which is weird because he's doing his cap circle, which means he may... I don't have any idea how much... Okay, resources 180. We can do some math.
Yeah, eagles are, if I remember correctly, really cheap.
Yeah, let's see how much.
Resources.
3. Okay, yeah. You can cap circle.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
So I would say if Mictlan can protect these 3 provinces from going under siege and can make 15 Eagle Warriors a turn, he has a hope.
he's got the money.
Yeah. I bet you without mage recruitment, he can make 15 with just these 3 provinces.
It's a tough situation.
Yeah. But like that is the condition for being relevant, is you have to keep these. So...
Well, he kind of has to keep that big farm down to his southwest as well, because he's desperately going to need that gold.
Yeah. But this at least isn't under check. So this is an important... I think, okay, so this province you give up. This province you try to keep. This province you try to keep, and your cap. These are the 3 you have to have. But if you keep this one, it's probably better than keep... The thing is, he can't right now defend 3 provinces. He needs to defend these 3. With a mix of PD dumps and troops, and I don't think he has the ability to do it.
No.
So then you have to pick 2. And if I were him, I would pick this one, and I would pick this one. And I would sacrifice this one and try to get my capital defense later, because I've already got some PD here.
Yeah, he sure doesn't want to lose that fort under construction. That would be a very bad result.
Right. This is the most important province he has on the map right now. This is important because if this army gets through... They're going to come through and take all this stuff, and he doesn't have the resources to defend it.
Yeah.
But it's less important than the cap and these. But I think you have to give this one up. Oh boy, this is a tough situation.
It is. Definitely a hair puller.
We got more Veti coming in over here, which you can see he's getting out of these forts. He's getting more Veti over here. So we can see he's switching to Veti, which makes sense because the Veti don't have the shock malice, and they, with 1 per square, they're probably going to tear these eagles a new one.
Well, also, I think you want a lot of guys in the back line to stop the rear commander sniping.
Right.
You want a pretty wide line. You might want to do a sandwich formation, some behind, some in front.
Yeah.
Because he's really got to consider stopping that eagle snipe. But the eagles pretty much have to be on hold attack to have any chance of being blessed, except the ones with his prophet.
Right.
Mictlan has no...
I think they have holy 3s. Let me check.
That's correct. They get the priest kings.
Yeah, these guys.
So that's better if he's got enough of them. He's really only got like the equivalent of 1 decent army. He's got... 10 eagles there and 5 or so down below. A few more.
Yeah. I think the tough thing too is like for him to do well, he needs to have low attrition on eagles. And for him to have low attrition on eagles, he needs to overwhelm them in numbers, which he is not able to do. So that means to overwhelm them in numbers, the only solution would be to defend fewer provinces, but defend the ones you're going to defend better.
Yeah, I'd be basically falling back, and
which would mean like sacrificing this and saying we're only going to defend this province, but we're enough. I'm not going to take attrition.
I think that's what he has to do.
Oh man, these are bad decisions. I mean, like hard decisions.
Yeah, it's a tough situation. And in the interim, Jotun just keeps getting bigger.
Yeah. The thing too is like for me, these are hard turns to take, not only because it's stressful because you feel like you're going to lose, but it's hard too because it's almost like you get given like a math problem that people don't know the answer to, and you have to solve the answer. And it's such a hard problem that you can take, like you could easily spend 2 hours on this turn trying to figure out some way to Jedi and survive, and so like if you don't want to turn in the wrong answer for your math problem, you have to put just a huge amount of time into figuring out like what is the only like 1 in a million right answer.
Yeah. Well, my gut feel is right now he needs to consolidate his armies.
Yeah.
He can't counter raid because he can't afford to split things any further than they're split. They need to consolidate into one decent-sized army that has a chance. Because if he doesn't, Jotun can split into little tiny raid squads of, 5 of the Elfhedens and a handful of Veti and send them all over the place
Yeah.
and just harass the crap out of him because Jotun can outproduce him now. So Jotun can
Right.
afford to play a war of attrition.
They certainly can, it looks like.
And Mictlan can't. Mictlan can't afford a war of attrition. He needs to have decisive battles.
Right. Well, decisive in his favor. Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So he needs to consolidate into the closest thing he can build to a doom stack.
Yeah. If this war came like 4 or 5 turns later and Mictlan actually had a chance to get his feet under him with these forts actually being finished, so he was at 15 Eagle Warriors a turn, it would be different. But he's right now in a position, he has no armies left from expansion. They're all dead. His troop production is not up yet. He's maybe at 10 Eagle Warriors a turn. And meanwhile, this guy's making stuff out of his cap, out of this fort, and out of all these forests. And he's just, everything he's making is getting sent south.
And in this case, Mictlan could see the same thing we can. All 4 of Jotunheim's decent armies are on his border right now.
Yeah.
They're not waiting. They're not behind the lines. They are there.
Yeah. In this case, you don't even like message Jotunheim saying, "Hey, are you going to attack me?" It's so obvious. Like you know with 100% certainty or 99% you're about to be attacked. So.
Okay.
Speaking of Jotunheim, they've taken this. They're producing stuff in these forts. Otherwise, not any activity. Let's take a look at messages real quick. We did Mictlan. End. We need to go do end. Well, let's finish this column.
Vanarus just paused.
Yeah, they had that bad loss on this throne, which is going to set back all of their plans, no matter what they were.
Other than that, he's consolidating armies. He might be going for those last heavy cav.
Yeah.
I'm suspecting he might have an agreement with Jotun. He hasn't said anything, I don't think. He's got no armies of significance on his border.
Yeah.
So he's in a position where he can afford to just take his time and clear out a couple of bits of indies. He's got those barbs and the heavy cav left. And maybe another punch on that throne.
Yeah.
2 forts up. He's okay.
You know what's interesting, and this just occurred to me, it's not related to Vanarus, but, you know, when we look at all the different nations, and Satis in some ways is at the bottom, Satis, one thing we can say is they haven't suffered much attrition. They have never taken a fight which they didn't handily win.
No, he's lost very few Sobex, and that's the only thing he's used.
Right. And if you get the choice between, do you want to be... Like, he's actually a much harder target to hit right now than Mictlan or than Pythium, who have both suffered a ton of attrition.
If you go back, or since we're kind of, if we're sort of done with Vanarus, we go to Satis. Notice I mentioned, I think he just wanted to site search with that Marshmaster. I see that Marshmaster just sitting there. In the forest,
yeah.
And the Sobex moved on without him.
Right.
So that was...
Oh, he site searched here with his god, it looks like, and he found 2 more gems.
Whew. And the Sobek fight was just plain Sobex, I think.
Yeah, I kind of want to see how we're doing on gem income.
My guess is Satis is way up there.
Gem income and research. Number 1. Look at this research graph.
Yeah.
He's almost twice number 2.
Who's on the gem income? Which is the pink one? Is that Pythium?
Pink? This thing?
On the gem income graph.
Oh, the gem.
Yeah.
That looks like... No. Pelagia. Apparently Pelagia has been site searching his little pond.
Okay.
What has he found? Fathoms of the Deep. We've seen that before. Charmed Currents. Wall of Living Kelp. And now he had mentioned to us he was specifically going to go site search nature, hoping he got a fort. Does not seem he's gotten lucky there so far, but...
No. It's a worthwhile play for a water nation.
Yeah.
That before you try building forts, if you can get nature searching early.
Yeah.
And Pelagia can. Yeah, that's a nice thing to do with a water nation. If you have the time to do it.
Right.
Save you an awful lot of gold.
Okay, so Satis we've covered. They're site searching. They're getting ready for stuff. Vanarus we're done with. Not much is happening. They got barbs here and heavy cav they can maybe go after. They lost a big party. The monkeys, they took out these barbs. Did we cover the monkeys? No.
Nope. And that's what he bought the Bandars for. And
right.
That really didn't work as well as I think he might have hoped.
Well, he was making Marcata, too. We saw quite a few Marcata stacks.
And I thought he used the Marcata as front line, but they're not getting there, so he's gonna...
Oh, he's not... Oh, they are doing sticks and stones. Okay.
Oh. That was pretty hefty attrition of the big Bandars.
Yeah.
I don't think they'd have been my unit of choice to go against barbarians. Like you mentioned, they're better against high protection guys.
Yeah. I think if anything, you'd get that light Bandar infantry and you just have everybody throw rocks at them.
I would too. Yeah, that would have been my choice. I mean, he wins, but it's not as tidy as it could have been.
But he's got his cap circle now. He can probably... This is pretty easy, militia and archers. He can probably expand into that too. He's got his tiger riders over here. I can't remember if they were staying here or... Wait, no, they were down here before, weren't they?
Yeah. So is he trying to put a threat onto Vanheim?
Maybe.
I thought they were going to try it for this throne.
Maybe
I thought they were down there.
It wouldn't make sense to move into a cave if you were going to go to this throne. I think you would move up into here to get there faster or something.
I would think so. I'm not sure what his play is.
Okay, I don't know. And then Mictlan, we've talked ad nauseum.
But Bandar's in good condition.
Yeah, they're looking fine. They're looking fine. It looks like he has turned off Tiger Rider recruitment.
It does, doesn't it? So he's maybe a little goal constrained and just trying for infrastructure.
Yeah, I told you this player is greedy.
As in?
Like he almost always is going to... I told you his modus operandi. He's going to do expansion. Once that's done, he's going to focus on getting a lot of Magi up. He's never going to be the aggressor in a first war. And he's going to piggyback and vulture off somebody.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
Yeah. So, but he's not going to be very strong. He's actually a pretty... I won't do it, but, you know, if somebody was going to attack him year one, it's actually not a bad target. Sometimes he takes a Titan with this, though. He often does. So this is another candidate, maybe, for a dormant Titan.
He has no god.
Right. But it could still be coming out this next turn.
Yeah, it could be. There's that small dormants. It's a much smaller random roll, like just a few turns each way. But.
Right. And for those of you watching, these might be coming out in quick succession. And at the first episode, people sent in what their blesses were and their builds. And so he's probably told us, but we can't remember. I probably should print all those out or something.
Yeah. Make notes or something.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's the monkeys. Mictlan we've talked about.
Just a side note, if you want to zip up, I haven't been downloading the turns because I wanted to come into these with the least amount of spoilers. But if you want to zip up the turns, send them to me, and you want me to take some notes of
okay, yeah, I can do that.
Issues, let me know what they are, and I'll open them up. And
okay,
I opened up the notepad thingy for this, so
yeah, I can do that.
But definitely making a note of all the blesses and the scales, the starting situation, so we have it as reference when we're casting.
Right. Okay, we talked Vanheim, Ashdod. Looking at the timer, we might have talked everybody. Have we talked Uruk? I don't think we've talked this. No, we haven't done this column. We'll start with end.
Oh yeah, we didn't.
So I'm feeling salty about the map. Could have grabbed 5673 easily if it weren't for the rivers. In normal maps, those rivers wouldn't be nearly so oppressive. Yeah, it's a really weird random configuration.
I guess he doesn't play map nuke all that
Well, yeah, I've played it a lot. It's very rare you get like hard cut off between this river goes into an underwater, goes into another river, goes into a throne.
Yeah.
This is a very rare role. If I had seen this, like noticed it, I went through and checked a few things when I made the map. You know, like
You might have adjusted it a bit.
I would have adjusted it, but I didn't, so they're stuck with the random stuff that the map nuke gave them. Okay. Also, both are planes, which usually give 100 plus gold. That's 15% of my total income that I'm missing. Well, you also could have gone, river moving if you wanted to. I forgot the name for that bless. And people would have laughed at you, but then you'd be like, ha, I knew this would happen.
It's the water breathing bless that lets you cross rivers.
Yeah, it's not that expensive. Isn't it just like 2 scale points or something?
It's pretty cheap.
Yeah. Or 2. Yeah. I could have gone cold 1-2 scales, like I said, but normally these rivers are more balanced and there's a way around them. Yeah, that's true. But it's also a blessing in that it gives you a secure flank, given that the other nation doesn't have a thing. But it does give him more land.
Because he might not know what we know, that Uruk has kind of been punching through everything with almost nothing except that one case where he failed.
Right.
Yeah, he's at 15 provinces. That's solid.
Yeah, he's solid. I think I expanded really well. Still managed to grab 15 provinces despite Bone, Horse Tribe, Heavy Cav, Troglodyte provinces. Maybe better than neighboring nations. It's too bad we didn't get the reward of 17 provinces due to unlucky map spawn. It's fair to be a little salty about. Now Uruk gets at least 2 free provinces. Furthermore, he gets the Ictid province, which means he can grab the 2 water provinces as well. That's 4 extra provinces despite just reaching those provinces turn 11. If I lose this game, I blame the map. Okay. You blame whatever you want to.
I think it's a mixed bag because I don't think that he would have had a great time if he'd have gone up head-to-head versus Uruk.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Hard to say. It's, having a secure flank, which neither nation is going to be able to move across easily, is in many ways a diplomatic advantage, too.
It's a nice feature.
It's a little bit like being in the corner of a map that doesn't wrap around. Why did nobody build a bridge there?
Because it's an automatically generated map.
That's right.
But as you just said, if you had carefully checked every province, you might have said, ooh, at least one of those should have had a bridge.
Yeah, I would have changed this if I noticed.
A province with only 2 normal entrances isn't very nice. It's better to have 3.
Yeah. This is a weird. I would have changed this one. I probably would have left this, but I probably would have done.
That one's fine. That's got 4 normal entrances.
Right. This one I probably would have maybe gotten rid of this lake, maybe, or gotten rid of a river.
Straight north.
Yeah.
And that would have divided up.
Yeah, that would have made this more accessible. Yeah. I probably would have done that. But it's not like, the world is not just and fair, and neither is Dominions.
If we wanted symmetric maps, then you can go make perfectly symmetric maps. Some people like playing on them. And they're fine, but...
Yeah, this is a little bit, like I said, if we could go back and change it, I would. But the reason Map Nuke is fun when it's random is it gives all sorts of weird situations. Like,
I agree.
How do you manage, like, this whole thing in this area is actually really interesting. You've got a choke point where if you have amphibious units, you can threaten all this stuff. If you have river crossing units, you can threaten this, and then all that kind of gets negated a little bit once you blow through the throne. So, like, if Pangaea were here, and Pangaea doesn't care about barbs or anything, right? Or, like, because you have a really strong bless, you blow out this throne early, you could still do an attack. It may not be as safe of a border.
Yeah, I think that whole discussion, we did one of my streams on that issue of, how do you look at maps and what's a good map, and do maps affect your strategy, and there's all kinds of factors. The more movement constraints there are on a map, the better they are for nations with lots of map move options, either swimming or mountain survival, or take your pick. The less of it, the flatter a map or the simpler a map, the better they are for simple infantry move nations.
Or cavalry that can take advantage of 2 or 3 map move things.
Exactly. And these are all factors, and I personally prefer to see the map before I finish my nation design. I mean, most of the time you've already got your nation.
Yeah.
But I like to see the map before the game start, so that if I need to make some small adjustments, and we just talked about, in this case, it would have been really nice to maybe consider water breathing so you've got swimming.
Yeah, we didn't do that on this map intentionally, because if people got to see the map, if you got a fixed start like Agartha or something where they're in a cave, people would know like where Agartha is, and
Yes.
and you could plan your first war and therefore your bless and build based off of who you thought your neighbors might be. Now the plane starts would have still been random.
Right.
But all the people who got fixed start, like Naba has a fixed start. So Naba and Agartha would have known they were neighbors, for example.
Right.
And
that's
then,
a valid point.
yeah. So anyway, I think it's in no way is this unplayable. And these guys are probably in kind of equal position. So anyway, it'll be interesting to see what happens. And as soon as this throne opens up too,
That's
you know,
good.
if End is unhappy about this situation with Uruk, they can come down there and conquer him.
There's a
So, or try.
and this comes just another little bit of an aside. If you don't enjoy the fact that sometimes the RNGs stiffs you, one of your best solutions is play more small games, like more often, so that you get good ones and bad ones. But if you're the kind of player that only plays one game at a time and you play large games, lots of players or large maps, then you basically know you've lost a game right at the beginning when you get a bit of bad random luck.
But this is not in any way, in my opinion, game-losing luck for End.
I haven't seen any player in this game that luck. Well, the one exception might be Naba.
Right.
That
That's
was
Spy.
the one piece of luck that might end the game for him.
Yeah.
Pythium, I wouldn't say that's really the game's fault. He picked Misfortune 3. That's a risk you take.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, but I'm still excited to see what End does. So End's got a lot of troops now.
I think Ind's in good condition.
If we look at army size, where's End? Okay, they're right there, top of middle of the pack. But
Except that
but their stuff is sacred. Like all,
almost 100% sacred.
yeah.
Ooh. Oh, that was Bandar took quite a hit on his army.
Oh, was that Bandar? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that was lost all those big guys.
Yeah.
Because people might not know, but the army graph is based on size points.
Right. I didn't actually know that till yesterday.
Yeah. And that's a useful thing to keep in mind. So sometimes when you see a huge drop on an army graph, it may not be as bad as it looks, or a huge increase.
Right. Okay, so they're set up here. It's looking like they might attack Sitis because they have more troops on this side of the border, but it's also looking like they might go after this throne. I'm kind of thinking they're going to go after thrones, but we'll see. And Agartha has taken this pond. Almost no losses.
Yeah. We watched that.
We did, okay.
Yeah.
And then
Just whatever.
Naba and Uruk. Okay, yeah, I think we've done it. So
Right.
under an hour, mission accomplished.
Oh, very productive day.
Yes. We've done back-to-back, I think, what, 3 or 4?
4. This is the
4 episodes, so very productive. We're almost caught up. I think they're on turn 16 in the game, 17, or maybe 18. We're getting close.
time, so we should, with luck, maybe by the end of the week.
Yeah.
And then I won't have to feel so bad when I read little bits of spoilers.
Yeah, the game thread.
Exactly.
All right, folks. Thank y'all for joining us again.
Yes. Thank you very much.
And thank you for coming, Marilyn. See you all next time.